Shalom Dammit! This is Rabbi Sol Solomon with a Rabbinical Reflection for the end of June 2026. What the hell has happened to coffee? Wasn't so long ago that if you wanted a morning brew in New York, there'd be a guy in a cart, and for $1 he'd hand you a fresh Folgers with cream and 2 sugars, napkins, a donut, and a tip on the third race at Belmont. Okay, maybe that was so long ago. For decades, we've grown inured to the Starbucking of America. Jackie Mason said it best when he warned us, coffee in a coffee shop, 60 cents with cream. At Starbucks, it's cafe latte, $3.50. Each French word costs another $4. No tables, no chairs, no busboy. You have to clean up, and it's burnt coffee. If you get burnt coffee at a coffee shop, you call a cop. But when it's burnt at Starbucks, it's a blend. But at least Starbucks, which became a global powerhouse when led by a proudly Jewish CEO, stays mostly out of politics. 3 years ago, some of the unionized workers got mouthy about Gaza, but that simply triggered the most Jewish result of all, competing lawsuits. Since then, Starbucks has been extremely careful to say, we don't support Israel. We don't not support Israel. We have stores all over Arabia, but the terrorists don't get gift cards. Like Switzerland in World War II, Starbucks' neutrality is disingenuous and cowardly, but at least they didn't join the other side like the French and Italians. Nowadays, however, self-righteous identity politics is everything. It's not enough to sell an $8 mochaccino to some Gen Z schmuck. You also have to treat them to your Instagram-based musings on social justice. It shouldn't surprise us that coffee pourers think they're experts on decolonization. The whole point of coffee is decolonizing, getting the crap out of our colons. But a different kind of crap is being served up at one Java shop in Brooklyn, Poetica Coffee, which is run by a jerk named Parviz Mukhmadkulov. And I wish this Mohammedan would cool off. Poetica refused to serve a pro-Israel Jewish politician. The store wrote on its official Facebook page, "Hey, Congressman Dan Goldman, do you see how our coffee doesn't taste like genocide juice? Here at Poetica, we don't serve genocide enablers. We issued you a refund. Your money's probably coming from AIPAC anyway. Don't ever come to Poetica." Unquote. Obviously, this Parviz guy is chock full of nuts. But he's getting away with this garbage. Hordes of Brooklyn millennials who fancy themselves baby Nelson Mandelas are cheering this douche nozzle as he sells his rancid Robustas and gives only the Arabs Arabica. You gotta love a coffee shop that creams itself over equal rights while denying a customer equal rights. Tuesday's primaries showed the New York Democratic Party moving even further towards radical anti-Semitism. So, Poetica's perversion should not shock us. Still, the goal of this guy's blatant Israel bashing that crosses way past altruism into straight-up Jew hate can be met only with incredulity and rage. I am heartened by the counter-protesters who staged a pro-Israel, anti-Mamdani rally outside Poetica, telling those progressos to drown in their espressos. I am disheartened by Congressman Goldman losing in the primary to Jewish capo Brad Lander, a bleeding-heart socialist who parrots all Hamas's talking points about the horrors of Zionism. You know, he'll be getting free refills from the eyebrow-piercing crowd. But the funniest part of all this, and none of this is funny, is that when Poetica refunded Dan Goldman's cup of coffee and tip, because yes, Jews do tip, he got back $9.82. That's nearly $10 for heated brown water, and people pay it. So, here's my idea. The most expensive coffee in the world is called Kopi Luwak. That's the one where an Asian cat called a civet eats the coffee beans and then excretes them. Supposedly, the bowel movements taste fantastic with non-dairy creamer. Well, Parviz, let me go the civet's one better. I will eat a dozen coffee beans, then climb up on your counter and shit into your mouth and down your throat. The flavor will be rich, distinctive, and, if you have an enema handy, sustainable. Oh, sure, you might choke to death, and that would be poetic and poetica justice. This has been a Rabbinical Reflection from Rabbi Sol Solomon, Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. Good to the last plop.